Okay, the first part of our course is tied for topological group definition. J is a topological group. It's a topological group. That means that J, first of all, is a set, which is a group. Is a group which is an abstract group. And first of all, and J is also a topological space. Is a topological space, and also the third condition, the two structures are compatible on this scope in this set, this one. You say that the condition of compatibility on the two structures. You have to prove that the map F on we put that into J for all was you have here you have this the product and the map D from J into J from all X you have X events like this are continuous. Are continuous. If we put this condition, the third part of the definition characteristic that the fact that the two structures are compatible. Okay? Because you have a set, you define two structures on it, you have to be sure that two structures can cohabit on the same set. You understand that called the compatibility condition. Three is the compatibility. Compatibility. Compatibility condition. The compatibility conditions. So how we go? It's like you have first of all, you define the last time a Banach space. You said the Banach space first of all is a vector space, is a non-vector space, is a vector space, which is also topological space. But you know that already that the topological space is defined from a norm. So it's a topological, it's a vector space. That's the Banach space also have two structures. You have I tell you the last time the condition such that these two structures can be on the same set. But you tell the compatibility condition for the vector space. Now in the group, then you have this VR. Here are the two conditions that tell us the compatibility of the two structures on the same group. So I will give you some examples of this kind of group. The first example I can give you, like R is a group. It's a topological group. It's a topological group because first of all is a group. R is a group. It's a topological space, and the two conditions are continuous. That means that R is a group. You know already R is also a topological space. Is a topological space, and the third condition, you know that the map from R like this into R, such that you have X, Y, you have this condition, X plus Y, and J, R into R. From X, you have this one minus X are continuous. So R is a simply topological group, which is a very good group, compact group, and so on. Locally compact group, and so on. I'll give you another group, like the group. Let's suppose that this. We take the group of this one. This term is also topological group. They contain the matrix of order R, such that the determinant of J is equal to 0. This one is also topological group, and you see also is a topological group, which is also open. which is also open topological group. Why open? Because when you consider this map from N like this into R, say that for all matrices, you have the determinant of this matrix. You know that already that this map is continuous. Is continuous. Then you say that this group like this is just the complement of this element of this the single one, and do the complement of this one in this set. It is open. This one is what in the complement of will be this one on R minus F1. This one is why this one is open, because F for this one because this one is closed, the complement will be open. Because this one is closed, then the complement is closed. The singleton in the Hausdorff space is closed, but the inverse image of a closed subset is a closed. Then the complement is also is open. Then this one is a subgroup, is a topological group. It is open topological group. Open because you use it after when you like to construct some Harvey or some kind of property of the group. You will this part. And I give you, when you have you have lecture D1, D2, two topological topo. I take topological group. I can know the direct product of D1 is also a topological group. What you call the direct product, that means that when you take x1, x2, and y1, y2, two elements of J product of T2, you can do the product like this. If you the direct product, they do the product directly. Y1, y2 is just x1, y1, and x2, y2. If you the direct product here, and this is what the product is. You want to call the direct product of group. We call the direct product. Direct product of group. It's also a topological group. And also what we call the semi-direct product, which is also a topological group. You are in this case, when you got they say when you have let phi be the homomorphism of D1, okay, put the D2 into the group of automorphism of D1. You cannot this homomorphism, this one. Say that phi from is in D2 into this automorphism of G1. When you have S2 here, you can get the image with phi S2, this one, which is also the automorphism of D1 into D1. Then you have S1 here, you can have phi of S2 of S1, which is in G1. Then when you have to go to the direct product, the product of this one, S2, with Y1, Y2, the direct product is just S1, but we have a phi S2 of SY1, and after S2, Y2. You don't do the product like this. You pass from this the moment of fit phi. You have to account this before, because this one is the G1. This one also is in G1. So the product in the G1, because two G1 are IGO, the political group. This one is the G2. So you have the product like this. Because this kind of product is semi-direct product. You put it like G. It's a semi-direct product of phi, and this one phi of D1, D2. What we call the semi-direct semi-direct product. Also, a semi-direct product of group is also of topological group is also a topological group. Okay. So I would give you some example of semi-direct product group if you want, because you need it when you try to consult the representation of this kind of group, like the group, the motor group, the motion group, the group, the Poincaré group, and so on. All these are the semi-direct product of group. Let us give you some example. Example of semi-direct product group. The semi-direct product or product of group. The first example I can give you, which is very simple, the motion group. The motion group is a group like this. G is like a Rn, and you do the product like this of SON like this. This one is a group of rotation. This one is a group of the translation. It's R like this. This one is called a motion group. Motion group. That means that for all U here, when they take U, and the limit R hectare here, or limit here, I can do the product of U prime R hectare prime like this. The product of this one is exactly the same. You put the action here. This one is, if you want, I can put R hectare like this of U prime, and you write here R hectare and R hectare prime, which is exactly U of R hectare. Take the image, the action like this, and after R hectare plus R hectare prime. Even the product is not also a semi-direct product. When I give you a remark about this notation, when I say that, you say that this one, the R, you do this one of. That means that this one is just the action of this one operate on this. So your file of this kind of photo of you is just the image of this one of you is off. What you can note like this. Instead of writing like R and the series diameter of file SON like this, you can just put it like this and put it like this. You do this one. This one operates on Rn. This one operates operation. This one. Then you put this kind of notation. This kind of notation. You get your mind there. This one. Also, the motion group. Motion group is a semi-direct product. This one is called the motion group. Motion group. I give you another group, which is also a semi-direct product of group. The group like this, G, represented by the C22, and the semi-direct product of phi of R like this. We call it that the Mortner group. It's also semi-direct product of group. It's also semi-direct product of, we call it Mortner. So here, our file here, which is like this, is just the map from G2, donc it brought or R into the automorphism of C2, like this. From all X, we have phi of X, which is the map of C2 into C2. From UV here, you can have this map of this phi X of your UV. It defined like this, just the map of U, the exponential of the 2I pi X, and The second component is like this. The second component is V exponential 2I pi s and from alpha. When alpha is an irrational number, that's irrational number. Because this one is also most group. You study this kind of group when you start from studying the representation theory of symmetric product group. You use maybe the induced representation to construct the representation. We use a representation of one of each subgroup and we construct the representation on the group. Okay, I'll give you a third example of semi-direct product, again, which is called the Poincaré group. Poincaré group is for a very, very important group. It's a physical group. You use it also. This kind of groups is very, very useful in quantum mechanics. You use it to show that there is many application of harmonic analysis in quantum mechanics. So use this kind of group. What is the meaning of this kind of group? Let us first of all we use what you can, how can you define this the group of Poincaré like this one. Okay, let M be a four-dimensional vector space. I take M, which is a four-dimensional vector space, and I define a scalar product on it. For all x like this, as u, for u 0, 3, and y, if you y like this, for u goes to 0 to 3, I will find which kind of product you can get on it. We can use, for example, an x like this, x scalar of this one. This one will be equal to x like 0, y0 minus s1, y1 minus s2, y2 minus s3, y s3. We define this kind of product, this one. And this one is a scalar product in this. So this M with this kind of product is a Hilbert space. Hilbert space. You know it already. What we call the Hilbert space is a vector space with some scalar product on it, which is also complete from this scalar product. This one, it's complete because that means that any Cauchy sequence on this one in this space converge also in this space by the norm defined by the scalar product on it. So you can easily prove it. So it is scalar product. And this kind of seed is called M is called Minkowski space. Minkowski space is a space which is spatial-temporal, depend on the time and also depend on the coordinate of the space. Let me that why, because when you have S here, S is you see that U like this. No, normally your S is like this. They contain S0, S1, S2, S3. This one. S0 here is not like is that you have three components. The three components is space component. Space component. This one is time component. That means that x here is really equal to is exactly CT, where CT here is a time and C is the velocity. Velocity of light, which is a constant. So that means that this one it really depends also on the time because C is constant. So when you write like this, normally you have to put this one is T and S1, S2, S3. What is the component? Really the component actually the component of any point of M like this. The first one is the time, and the third one, this one is a component of the space. That's what the time. So we can repair also any point in the space using this Minkowski space. You say that at this time, we say that at this time t, the position of your particle. At this time t, you know the position of your particle. You are already in the space like this. At this time of this one, you have the position of your particle like this. Something like that. You can look at one of these. This kind of okay. Okay, that's what. Look at this video. You have the position is at time t. This one, what is the components x, y is this one. So at time t, you know the position of your particle. This one. Also, any element of your Minkowski space. This one depends on the time, and this one the S1 depends on the component of the space of your point. So we call it the Minkowski space, which is a great role in the theory of in quantum mechanics. You use it when you can pick the motion group, but the group of the transformation group for this one, we call the Lorentz group. As you see that the definition, the group of Lorentz is what we call Lorentz group. This one is a group of the linear transformation. Is the group of linear transformation of the space of Minkowski. The space of Minkowski. Okay, say that this one is the linear transformation, a group for linear transformation of the space of Minkowski, which preserve the scalar product, quantity which preserve the scalar product. What I mean that means that when you have something like that, when you have you see L is this kind of the map of this one, such that you have this map for x for all x. Yeah, you have this kind of map. That means that for x here, for x y in L, that means that the scalar product of Lx and Ly is exactly xy. You see that R, the group, this kind of map, which is that it's an element of your group, the group of the transformation, the group Lorentz group, it's like this. So this kind of group is denoted by this group is denoted by this one. Usually like this kind of this kind of denoted by this, which is called the Lorentz group. So the Lorentz group. I'll give you why this kind of notation. The kind of notation comes from when you the study of really in quantum mechanics, use this kind of notation. Is that just a physical notation? If not, we can note it like this, like this one, and we note like this. Because when you have L like this, first of all, when we say that L of x, L of y is equal to x, y, that means that you can also say that there is this a j is like this, which it takes all like this, such that L, the transpose of this one, j, L will be equal to j. Where j is a matrix like this, minus 1, and 0, 0, 0 outside. You have this 0, 0, 0 here, and 0, 0, 0, 0 here. This kind of map. You can note it like this. So this Minkowski group, this group de Lorentz can be written like this. In J, such that you have this condition. Is R, such that you have this condition. You have this one. R, the transposition of J of R is equal to J. When J is a matrix like this form. It's also the element it contains L from N to N, such that X and Y is equal to YX. This is the same definition. What you call the Lorentz group. Because it's the Lorentz group, because when you use this kind of relation, that means that when you compose it, the kind of relation, you put the determinant of this one, the determinant of the translation of R, VR, is equal to determinant of J. Or this one, the determinant of this one is just minus the determinant of R square, which is equal to minus 1. That means that the determinant of R is that means that the determinant of R is equal to like this, minus 1 or plus 1. Our Lorentz group, if R is our Lorentz group, plus like this, because the determinant of R might be this part, which is plus 1. And also the signature of the first component of this one might be also equals to 1. You have to work this kind of plus here. The signature of the first component of this kind of magnitude, the composite, is really equal to plus 1. And the data is equal to 1. This one. But we call it also proper orthogonal Lorentz group. So we can call it just Lorentz group. So you use this kind of Lorentz group to construct what I mean by the Poincaré group. Use it to construct the Poincaré group. So the Poincaré group is a French mathematics system. Poincaré group like this is denoted by this one. We look at also like this, also by this, like this. It's just the translation group of other cards, other four, and do the product of this kind of group, what you call the Lorentz group. This one is a Lorentz group, and this one is a group of the translation. The group of translation. I'll change my marker. Translation. The group of the translation here is just a group of this one. This is polar complex. But usually, when you have to know, you have to study the representation of this kind of group. It's very simple to use the occurrences of the covariant group. So you can prove that the covariant group of R group of this Lorentz group like this. What will be this one? You know already that this current group covariant group is usually using that is this one. This kind of group. If you have to compute the covariant group or this group of this one of the group or of Poincaré group like this, it's just the covariant group of the group of translation and do the semi-direct product of the group of Lorentz group. We know already that for the group the translation, the covariant group or the group translation is the same. It's also the Bruscan group. What now the covariant group of this kind of group? Because I tell you that when you have to construct the representation of the group, it's very more simple to construct the representation of the covariant group. It's the same. Then the correspondence. When you construct this, you know you see the same that the representation of the group. But if you use this kind of group, we can prove that the covariant group of this one is exactly the group of S2C, which is the group of S2, which is exactly the group of this one. Then, when you consider the group of this semi-direct of group like this, then you can compute just mean that this one which is exactly the group of the translation is being the reporter of the group of the F2C. This one is containing is a group of matrices of order C like this, saying that is also the determinant of this one is determinant of is equal to 1, and also this what you call this kind of group. This unimodular group. Why this one? You can try to compute it. Why this one is exactly as eta sources? Why this one? If you want to compute it, you just say that let us construct. Let's consider this map. So for map of SR to C to this kind of loaded group. For all element here, we get this one, this transformation map right from it, which is a map of Minkowski space of this one. You see that already that the Lorentz group is a translinear transformation of a Minkowski space. So say that this one, you have this element of this one, S prime like this. Say that S theta like this, the of x which is equal to gamma S gamma, the adjoint of this matrix. What the meaning of this? I will give you just the meaning of this one. The meaning of this, that means that you know only that x m here contains just a component like this. If you put x u for u 0 in 3, the element is of m is like this one. And this one is the matrix. When you are here, you identify this matrix of some Hermitian matrix. Before we use S here is a Hermitian matrix. S here is a Hermitian matrix. Why this one? Is a Hermitian matrix, and you complete. It's a matrix, not a component like this, a point like this. This one. Why? You can identify. We identify element of the Minkowski space. We can identify as the Hermitian matrix of all that properties. We can identify for all x here, which is equal to x mu for mu 0 of 3. We have this map. You know the sum of x to mu and the sigma mu like this from mu 0 to 3, where this one is a Pauli matrix. 0, 3 is a Pauli matrix. Pauli matrices is a 4 Pauli matrix. So let us remind you what I mean by the Pauli matrix. This kind of matrix is also useful in quantum mechanics. This one. Just that U0 is the identity matrix like this, and 1 is just the matrix is like this 0, 0, and S2 is a matrix like 0 minus E 0. S4 S3 is a matrix like 1 minus 1, 0, 0. We call it this matrix. This one. So we identify from here. So we identify any element S here, which is an element of the Minkowski. We identify it with this kind of map. It is the product of SU, this kind of Pauli matrix for 8003. This one is a Pauli matrix. This one, the product is an Hermitian matrix of all two, where the coefficient in C is one. So this is why we can compose this one. When we compose the map, I put just now from this one of N into N. You see, not taking the component here, we take just the matrix one, because you identify also X is identified to I, to X like this. The component identified like this. You take X and you put the lambda X like this. Then you have gamma X, gamma adjoint like this. Then you have the matrix, the product of matrix, this one. And this map is surjective. It's very simple to put it. It's surjective, and the kernel is also discrete. And the kernel of this one is contained just plus 1, the identity. The kernel of this one contains just the kernel of this map. Yeah. Sorry, the kernel of what I mean here, the kernel of this one, of R, part of this one, what I mean here, yeah. Okay, S here, yes here. Yeah, okay, that's what S this one. Okay. The kernel is just this of L. The map is what? I remind you that R is a map from the S2C into this map. So here you have this kind of response. This one is defined by what I say here. This one is defined like this. Then this is why it is surjective. It's not gamma here. So here L is surjective. Is surjective, first of all, and also the kernel of L is exactly cross the identity. It's why then you have change my marker. Then you have the SL2 to C composite with the kernel like this, using the theorem of decomposition of homomorphism. this one plus one, the identity of this one might be this kind of this the group of Lorentz. This one is isomorphic to the group of Lorentz. That is why it is why you have this. It is why you have this condition. It is why the Lorentz group, this one, the covariant group is like this. Is exactly F2 this kind of group. You define that this one is the quotient space. The quotient space of SL2C. This quotient space is isomorphic on this one. And you get this easily. So you have this one. That means that the covariant of this is why you have to complete the representation of Minkowski P group like this. This one is equivalent to the representation. You use it either is the representation of the Poincaré group. We take the covariant group of this Poincaré group. It's why we go like this. So it's also useful, very useful, the semi-direct polar of a group to construct some representation. When you construct the representation, we take just the covariant, which is very easy to compute it. So I give you three examples of semi-direct product. Just remind you what we did for the semi-direct product. Semi-direct product. Semi-direct product group. First of all, the motion group. Motion group, which is equal to D, like R, N like this, and you take the group of the rotation of like this. If you're this one, is a semi-direct product or the speed just operates on N like this. When you have N like this is equal to 2, when you have in the plane, it's called motion group because you can move. When I have to move to this point A to this point B like this, I want to move here. I want to go to this point to the move here. I want to go to this point. When I consult my map here, my repair here, so I know I'm here. So I know this point, which is 0. I know this vector like this. And I would like to go there. What I'm going, I just do the rotation like this first of all. I'm here just for the total rotation like this, what we call R theta like this. And also from here, I can go like this, using the translation. This translation of this vector like this. So from the rotation and the translation, we can move in the plane like this. What we call the motion group. This one. So you studied a motion group. Also, you study, just to remind you what you did. You did motion group and also the motor group. Motor group, which is the semi-direct product of C2, like the phi of R like this. Also, this one, also, is the motor group, and the third group you study is a Poincaré group. This is this one. We don't think that it's been the product of the group, the translation, and we that is by the group of Lorentz, which is group the group the linear transformation of the Minkowski space. You got it. So yeah, this analysis. So you move here before, and you can discuss this. It's called the group, the motion group. This one. Okay. And now I give you the definition of topological group. I give you some example of also topological group. And now we start to study some property of topological group. Let us do this remark. This remark. The third condition say that f of d into g for us y is like this, and g for into d for all s you have s minus 1. This one is continuous. Are continuous. The two maps see that is are continuous. We can say that this one, like remark that the three condition is equivalent to the fact for the fourth condition. We say that h like this from ej to j for sy, h is like j of this into j for all sy. You have x y minus 1. You can prove easily that this one is equivalent to this one. Right. I can prove easily. I can try to do it by exercise why this one is equivalent to us. Just to remind you what you have, when I say u v u two element or two subset of j like this, this one is just xy contain the element s is u and y is also u. When I do u minus 1, they contain the element of s minus 1 when s is u. You complete it. If I want to say that f is continuous, that means that I will take for when we take for all v, which is the neighborhood of sy in j, you have to prove that there exists u1, which is neighborhood of x, and u2, which is also neighborhood of y, such that u1, u2 is contained in V. This one is actually the image of U1, U2 is contained in V. What you want to construct it. So this one is continuous. That means that for all neighborhood of Y, you have to prove that there is a neighborhood of X equal to this one side, but this one is contained in this. So it's very simple, simple to prove. You do this kind of definition. You do this kind of definition when you have two lesser remainder. When you have two, let's consider two topological space. Two topological spaces like this, like X with each topology, this one, and Y of each topology like this one. From we have F a map of S with this if topology from this topological space, and Y of each topology, you have the topological space. You have a set with topology, you call it a topological space. When you want to prove that this one is continuous, at any point of S here, we just prove that this one, we just prove that I used to say this one, I don't know why. We just prove that for all v, which is the neighborhood of the image of your set, the image of x, you have to put that there is u, which is the neighborhood of this one, such that you have this one. So the f of u is contained in v. What is that the same? What I said just now, you have to put that f of uv is contained in this kind of mark. They're very simple to prove. So when you consider, if you want, just I'll help you for the first component. You have this one. You consider f1 and j are continuous. Are continuous. Let's prove. Let's prove that h is continuous. Let's prove that h is continuous. This one. H is a map. Even if f is a map from this one, from aj to j for x, y, you have this x, y, minus 1. You just take for any w, if you want, w, the image, the neighborhood of x1, you are going to take that, you can take that, you can get the neighborhood of x, you will say that you can product in all this one. Since f is continuous, then there is this u, which is neighborhood of x. There is this v, which is neighborhood of y minus 1, such that you have this condition, such that u v is contained in w. This one, which is this one is just the image. This one is just the image of uv. The image of your uv. For the first, you have looked at this, the image of your uv, and v is a neighborhood of y minus 1. This one, and so since also that j is continuous, that means that the result v theta, the neighborhood of y, such that you have v theta minus 1 is contained in v. So that's all. So when you say that, then u v theta minus 1, which is contained on u v, which is also contained in w, that means that your h is continuous. Is continuous. Okay, you can do the converse in SSR. It will be very, 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 very simple for you. Okay, thanks. Now I'll give you some properties of this kind of the topological law. I don't need to prove all for you because it's very, very simple to prove. Some properties. You can prove easily that the translation. When I put like this, I put A in J. I define the translation at A of J like this. For all S, you have the translation at the left. We call it the translation at the left. This one is the translation of at the left. And also for all A, I define also the translation like this at the right. J like this. For all S, you have R of S is like X, S, A. What you call the translation at the right. This one of it. And the inner automorphism like this of all A, from EJ you have this one. For all S, you have the inner automorphism of A of X, which is equal to A X plus R minus 1. And this one. The three are continuous. Are homomorphism, not necessarily continuous, only continuous but is bijective, and the inverse is also continuous. Is a numeromorphism. Is a numeromorphism. This one, this LA, RA, this one and the inner automorphism are a nomomorphism of group. They have the nomomorphism is very important in the theory of topological group, because the nomomorphism of topological groups concerns any topological structures. The image by a nomomorphism, it concerns any topological structure of this. So that's what. So the first property you have control. And the second property you can prove is very simple. You know the definition of the topological group. The fact that F and J are continuous, you can prove it easily that the three are the homomorphism. Okay. Now it's also you have P2. You say that if O is a subset, is subset of J, and of J, a U is open subset of J. U is open, this one is just an arbitrary subset of this one. Then O, O are open. Just U is open, this one is just subset, the product is open. Very simple to do. Because we are in a topological group, it's very simple to use this. Because when you get here, this one, U is open. You can write it like this. This one is the union of the translation. This one is and U for X, which is element of O, like this. And you took that the translation of at the right. You have this one S A Y. S Y like this. S Y. So you have the left of X of U like this. You can put it like this because this one S, the last translation of anyone, you have this kind of map. This kind of map contains the element like this form, use kind of element of Y, X like this. So it's a translation at the right. Let me see. So LX, yeah. Okay, this one. Okay, we can put it. Let us verify together. For X here, we can take it. Where U here will be equal to X U. No, it's not correct. So it's correctly is the translation at the right you use. F of U is better. So this one is a nomomorphism. U is a nomomorphism. Nomomorphism, this one. And U is open. Then the image of open set by the Home Office also open. And you said that in a arbitrary union of open is also open, then this one is open. You do the same by this one, use just the translation at the left, and you got the same result. And the inner automorphism of here is just a composition of the two. If one this one the homomorphism, this one the homomorphism, the composition is also the homomorphism, also interesting. A homomorphism, I remind you that just a map, which is the bijective and continuous, and the inverse is also continuous. What you call the homomorphism. Homomorphism is like this. The map is continuous, F continuous, the inverse is continuous, and F is bijective. Bijective. What you call the homomorphism of group. Okay. I'll give you a second, a third property, and you can stop here for now. We continue later. P2, PT, that is. Let us suppose that let J is topological. J is topological group, and take M here is a topological space. Space, which you suppose that is Hausdorff, is the Hausdorff topological space. It's like that G operates transitively on M like this one. Then if F is a map, from J into M like this, which is continuous. And we fix P, an element of M like this, such like this one. And there exists F theta, which is the J for the stabilizer of the P like this, into M like this, which is a homomorphism, which is a bijective and continuous. It's bijective and also continuous. It's also a very, very important which is very useful also. So you have you take P here is the element of M, like this, and also G operates transitively on M. Then our M here can be like that is this P, the orbit of P, because the orbit of P. Because G operates transitively on M, G is equal to this. Now, then the map here from M to GP, this which is our M here. When you consider this projection of the stabilizer of P, I thought that this one is stabilizer of P as well. There exists this one of this one. What we are calling now, that is one is pi. And you want to prove that this one is bijective and also is continuous. This one is bijective and is continuous. So it's very simple to use this one. You have to say that from M here, this one is not M, it's the group. From the group of this one. F is a group of M. Yeah, this for object J here, we can associate J point P like this. And our G here, we can associate the quotient the class of G, and you have this one might be this one. So you have first of all prove that this one is well defined, and you have three conditions. Yeah, you have to prove that first of all that f theta is well defined. Is well defined. F theta is bijective, and also f theta is continuous. Is continuous. For this one is also simple. This one is simple. This one is simple. That's one. Because for the commutativity of the diagram, we can say that this one, the component of this, the f theta, will be equal to from here into here. So f theta composite with pi will be equal to f like this. You use this fact because f theta from here and the component of this one, the coordinate from here is equal to f. Then if you say that you put d here and you put also d here, so say that you have f theta of the class of t might be defined of f of j, which is equal to j equal you have proof that this mark is well defined because when you take element for n d1 j2 such that j1 is equal to j2, and if the two are the same class like this, you have to prove that f theta of j1 must be equal to f theta of j2. That means that you have to prove that f of j of j1 is equal to f of j2. So you have to this is very simple to this one. That's what you went defined. The bijective is simple, and from one you just compose it that this the component of using the definition of the quotient space. The map which is defined on quotient space. What is the definition of this? You use it and you say that. Yeah. Because f theta is a map from the stabilizer of P into dP like this, which is M. So if you want to complete that this one, take any the opposite here. Let it take for all O here, which is opposite of dP You have to prove that f1 of this O is the opposite of this one. Let's prove that. You have to prove that f theta minus O is an opposite of this quotient space. This quotient space. This one. This quotient space. It's very. It is simple to see it. This quotient space. So you have to this one is here. So if you complete, you know only that f of theta composite of pi is equal to f as well. So f theta of pi of any O here will take the inverse of this one might be equal to the inverse of O like this. When O here is the element of this, the element of here. of this topology on opposite of this set which is here. Here, that means that here is pi minus 1 of f theta of O, which is equal to f theta of O here. You know already that f is continuous. Since f is continuous, that means that this one is open. This one is open. And this one is open, so pi minus 1 of f theta is open. And f theta of this one is open. The definition of opposite of quotient space is open. Just you use that definition of the open set of quotient space. Is that so? When you have this one, when you have this property, so x like this, quotient e quotient of f to j like this, a map. You have to prove that this one is continuous. You have to prove that the pi minus 1 of the open set is a quotient. This one is open in E, is odd. What you are what is it? This one is open in E. In E, the E here is a J. P minus 1, this one is open in E. Because this map is F map J into area. Minus O is open in J. This one is open in G. That means this one is open in E. This one is open in G. That means that this one is open. That's all. And so it will be one position. Okay. Now, okay, many properties can use. So today you can stop there and we'll continue later for many other properties of topological proof. We put the next time that any topological proof is homogeneous also. It's homogeneous because your S like this. F this one is homogeneous. This one is homogeneous. That means that for all x this one in x like this, we have to prove that there exists f which is a homomorphism which pass from f of x equal to. Right? Then when you have 2 points like this, you can pick a homomorphism which transform y to x. You say that this set is a homogeneous set. Is a homogeneous. Very simple.